Welcome to the online sessions on fuzzy logic. In the previous sessions, we are done with almost topics of unit number 1 and 2, and we discussed unit 1 as the introduction to fuzzy sets, operation on fuzzy sets. So the operations what we performed on fuzzy sets is going to be the operations such as the union operation, intersection operation, complement operation. Okay, so all these are the operations we perform on the fuzzy set, and we got properties on fuzzy sets. So the properties are going to be something like idempotency property, absorption property, excluded middle property, De Morgan's property, associativity property, commutative property. So like this, we discussed about several properties on fuzzy sets, and we discussed extension of fuzzy set concepts. So extension of fuzzy set is basically, and we discussed one problem on this for speaking about the applications, how we use them, where we use them, and for extension of fuzzy sets, we discussed about it is something like extension is nothing but mapping. Whenever we are going to map the real values of data into the values required for a system to compute, we normally use this extension principle. So in extension, using extension principle, we transform one type of fuzzy set into another type of fuzzy set. So it is basically for the internal transformation. In the case of the fuzzy sets, we normally going to perform. And next, we discussed about basic fuzzy relations. Okay, relations means what? Operations on relations we performed, properties on fuzzy relations we performed. Now, what is basically a relation? Relation means what? We discussed about a Cartesian product relation first of all. Cartesian product is nothing but what? Ordered pair. Okay, we'll discuss once again those things before we really discuss about the types of binary fuzzy relations. And today's session we'll try to discuss about fuzzy binary fuzzy relations and the fuzzy equivalence and fuzzy tolerance relations. Okay, so let us move on to this particular topic now. Now we go with a topic that is called binary fuzzy relations. So we already know what is the meaning of binary. Whenever we speak about a binary, we talk in terms of two different parameters. That means something like 0 1. 0 1 means what? Whatever operations when you perform based on the 0 1, it is going to be called as binary operations. So similarly, in the case of binary fuzzy relations, so these relations are going to be performed on two fuzzy relations. If you perform any operations on two fuzzy relations, then that is known as a binary fuzzy relation class. That means in order to perform binary fuzzy relations, you should have two different relations, and you should perform operations only on two different fuzzy relations. That is what called, binary fuzzy relations. So here we have various operations performed on fuzzy sets in the previous sessions. We discussed about union operation, intersection operation, difference operation. So these operations are performed on the fuzzy sets. Now, if the same operations are really performed, now in order to perform these operations, what is that we require? We require two operands. Okay, to perform this union. Union means what? Something like plus operation, intersection. Union means what? Intersection means what? Intersection. That means union means what? Criteria is going to be maximum criteria. Intersection means what? Minimum criteria we have used. So instead of sets, we normally going to use the fuzzy relations to perform these operations. So when you perform union, intersection, and difference operations on the fuzzy relations, two fuzzy relations, then it simply comes under the binary fuzzy relations. That's all it is. So concept is going to be very simple. Already we have dealt it. So once you really perform the operations on different fuzzies and two different fuzzy sets, we normally going to call that as a fuzzy binary fuzzy relations. Okay. So I need not once again go through all these various concepts involved in this, because already we have dealt with union operation, intersection operation. So two fuzzy relations will be given to us. So these two fuzzy relations has to be applied with union and intersection operations. Okay, and to perform those operations, we should know the criteria. For union operation, maximum is the criteria. For intersection is going to be minimum is the criteria. Like that, we apply the underlying criteria for that and we perform the operations. So in that sense, we normally going to call that as a binary type of the relationships. Okay. So that means one simple concept is that in a binary fuzzy relations, you have to use two different fuzzy relations to perform the operations. When you use like that, it is those operations are comes under the those operations comes under the binary fuzzy relations operation. That's all it is. So this is what the concept of the binary fuzzy relations. Now next, what properties can be applied on these binary fuzzy relations is the next topic of discussion. So already we discussed about many properties. Now you should just see here in which properties we require only two different fuzzy relations. So all those properties will be applied, okay, to the binary fuzzy relations. Now if you see carefully, commutative property, it requires two different fuzzy relations. So using which we normally going to write the commutative property. Then you're going to have another property called, absorption property. See, this absorption property also requires two different fuzzy relations. R and S are two different fuzzy relations. So this comes under that. The next, De Morgan's law. De Morgan's law is also normally going to require two fuzzy relations. That means these properties can be applied to the binary fuzzy relations. So that means here simply we replace fuzzy sets by fuzzy relations whenever we speak about the binary fuzzy set relations. So here R is a fuzzy relation, S is a fuzzy relation. So all this simply comes under the binary fuzzy relations for us. Okay. The next we'll move on to the fuzzy tolerance and fuzzy equivalence. Now the next concept is going to be fuzzy tolerance and fuzzy equivalence relation. Okay. So now all these concepts, whatever we're going to discuss now, have been derived from the discrete mathematics chapter on the crisp set relations, crisp set binary relations. That means whatever concepts we'll be discussing now, they are simply the concepts which are already there in the discrete mathematics applied on the crisp sets. Okay. Now here we are applying the same concepts on the fuzzy sets. That is only the difference here. So what is that which is so important here in discussing about the relations is that what is that you can call it as a relation. How a relation can be defined as a relation is nothing but a relation can be defined as a relation can be defined as a, relation can be defined as something like so what we can say a relation is going to be normally going to define the relationship between two or more fuzzy relations based on the criteria is in general basically going to be called as a fuzzy relation for us. That means here in the previous sessions we discussed about relations mathematically. We have discussed the first relation is for the first one is going to be the Cartesian product. The Cartesian product we have got the ordered pairs. So now after this ordered pairs, say for example, we have let us discuss about that in this particular thing only now. So let us try to go with this right now. Now, if you see this simple example, this is nothing but R, which is nothing but a relation matrix. So using this matrix, we have got the relationship between this x1, x2, x3, x4 fuzzy set, or for that matter, we may call it as a fuzzy relation. And x1, x2, x3, x4 is going to be another fuzzy set. So imagine that this is going to be one fuzzy set, this is going to be another fuzzy set, and we have simply brought a relationship between these two fuzzy sets. Now, how many relations we can form for this particular fuzzy set? We can form, imagine this is going to be m, imagine this is going to be n. So what is the value of m here? M is going to be equal to 4. N is going to be equal to 4. So 4 into 4, 16. So 2 power 16, 2 power m into n are going to be the number of relations that you can form from this particular, by this, using this particular, these two fuzzy sets. So that many relations can be formed. So among those relations, this is going to be R is going to be one of the relationships that we have really formed here. That means whenever you form such a thing means what? We say that this R is simply related to these two particular sets identified by its universe of discourse elements as x1, x2, x3, x4 and x1, x2, x3, x4 of the two different fuzzy sets or fuzzy relations for that matter. Okay. So like that, we have defined a relationship. We have defined a relationship, and relation is normally going to have some associativity based on the criteria with other fuzzy sets or relations. Okay. That's really going to be called as a relationship for us. So we discuss about fuzzy tolerance relation and fuzzy equivalence relation. Now, how do we define that? So fuzzy tolerance relation. So if any relation is normally going to satisfy these two properties simultaneously, called as reflexivity, called as symmetry. So all these things have been derived from the discrete mathematics. So if you really go through the discrete mathematics basic concepts, you normally find out discrete mathematics basic concepts to discuss about these two, reflexivity and symmetry property from discrete mathematics. And same concept we are using it here to define the fuzzy sets. That's all. On fuzzy sets, we are applying the same properties. So what is reflexivity is going to speak about here? The membership function of the relation matrix what we have got of xi comma xi. What is xi comma xi? It is going to be same. That means if xi is going to be 1, another xi is also going to be 1. If xi is going to be 2, this is going to be 2. That means here mu r of 1 comma 1, 2 comma 2, 3 comma 3, 4 comma 4. All these are known as what now? Diagonal matrix. If all the diagonal matrix is equal to 1, then that particular property is simply known as the reflexivity property. And another property that you're going to have is if we interchange the row and column elements, then the resultant membership function value should be same. When that is really there, it is simply known as a symmetry kind of a property for us. That means I may say I and j can be interchanged. If I is 2, say for example, I is 1, j is 2. Then interchanging means what? It is going to be 2 comma 1 for us. That means it is something like a symmetry property. Already we have, dealt with the symmetry property when we discussed about the microwave components. So there we discussed in microwave components, we have already did some problems on the symmetry property. Okay, for magic T, whenever we analyze the magic T, H plane T, E plane T, we have discussed about the properties of S matrix. In that we have got one property of S matrix is going to be called the symmetry property, where we have interchanged. That means even though we interchange the row and column of the matrix, then you should get the same value. Then that is called a symmetry property in general. So now here the same property. If this is true, we say it is going to be called as a symmetry property first. But only thing is here we are writing it for fuzzy logic. Therefore, this xi and xj should belong to the universe of discourse x. That has to be satisfied over here. Okay. When these two properties are really satisfied, then we simply call it as a fuzzy tolerance relation. Okay. And the matrix which is known as the relational matrix, which we have got, should compulsorily should be a subset of the x into x. That means whatever elements that we are going to get here, these elements should come from the relation x into x. That means from the Cartesian product x into x. Then only we normally going to accept them as going to be the elements of the relationship. Okay, so that is what we normally going to have it here, right? So let us assume that this is a fuzzy tolerance matrix. R is nothing but is equal to, we have given a matrix defined as something like x1, x2, x3, x4 are going to be the elements of another fuzzy relation, and x1, x2, x3, x4 are going to be another fuzzy relation. And the relationship between these two is written as something like this, right? Now, if you hold on these elements, what is the how we got this element zero point 0.6? This element zero point 0.6 is nothing but the membership function of R over x3 and x1. That means x3 is the row matrix, x1 is the column matrix. The value is going to be 6. And this particular resultant value, this result, this 0.6 is nothing but this here for us. Okay. So that we can easily write it here. Then now another thing which we're going to have is going to be like all these elements. Now what is this element called as? This element called as mu r of x1 comma x1 is equal to 1.0. Mu r of x1 comma x2 is going to be 0.9. Similarly, mu r of x1 comma x3 is going to be 0.6. Like this, these are the elements of the underlying membership function of the relational matrix R. This is how we write it for all the elements here, right? Now let us start applying the two properties, reflexivity and associativity. What is reflexivity? Mu r of x11, x1 comma x1, mu r of x2 comma x2, x3 comma x3. That means similar elements has to be there here, which is known as the diagonal matrix elements. Row and column are going to be same. Row and column is going to be same means what in terms of a ordinary matrix, what we can think of as it's going to be something like mu r of 1 1, mu r of 2 2, mu r of 3 3, mu r of 4 4. So they are known as simply diagonal matrix elements. Now if you see it carefully, all these diagonal matrix elements are equal to 1 now. Since all of them are equal to 1, we say it satisfies the property of reflexivity. Then we go on further to test the. That means here what we got here finally the diagonal elements are equal to 1 here. So therefore it satisfies the property of reflexivity as mentioned earlier. Now let us move on to the next property to verify, that is called symmetry property. So symmetry property means what? Even though you interchange a row and column, the value should be same. See here, this mu r of x1 comma x2 should be equal to mu r of x2 comma x1. So this is x1 comma x2 should be same as x2 comma x1. 0.9, 0.9 both are same. Similar to that, we got the elements are going to be same here in this particular matrix. Now since it is satisfying all these relations, we simply call this as the satisfying relation is called as mu r of xi comma xj is equal to mu r of xj comma xi for all xi comma xj belongs to the universe of discourse x. Since it satisfies the relationship, we simply call this as a symmetry property. Now since this relation R is satisfying both symmetry property as well as the another property that is called reflexivity property, we simply call this as a fuzzy tolerance relation. So R can be designated with a name called as fuzzy tolerance relation for us. The next we go with another problem. Now let us take up another problem. So the relation has been given us like this: x1, x2, x3, x1, x2, x3, like this. It has been given to us. Right now, let us look into the diagonal matrix. Now directly I'm applying the diagonal matrix now. 0.8, 1, 0.5. So they are not equal to 1. Since they are not equal to 1, it is not satisfying this relationship called a reflexivity property relation. And therefore, R does not satisfy the reflexivity property. Now, if either one of the two properties like reflexivity property, symmetry property are not true, then we simply say that R is not a fuzzy tolerance relation for us. Okay. And we say that it is not going to satisfy the fuzzy tolerance relation for us. Okay. So this is what one of the example that we can think of. Now another example I can just take up now, something like fuzzy relation R with many more number of elements here from the universal set. x1, x2, x3, x4, x5, and here also many number of set elements over. Now let us test this element now. All the diagonal elements are is equal to 1. Therefore, this relational matrix R is satisfying the reflexivity property. So hence R satisfies reflexivity property. And next, let us look for the symmetry property. Mu R of x1, x2, mu R of x1, x3, mu R of x1, x4, mu R of x1, xy with the appropriate symmetry relationships which are going to be true for us, which is going to be same. And as it satisfies the symmetry property. Since it satisfies both reflexivity and symmetry property, we call it as a fuzzy tolerance relations. Okay, it satisfies the fuzzy tolerance relation for us. Okay. So and hence finally we say what? It is verified that R is going to be a fuzzy tolerance relation for us. So this is what the example that using which we have simply expressed about the nature of the fuzzy tolerance relation. Okay. So it is nothing but a fuzzy tolerance relation for us. Next, another type of relation is going to be fuzzy equivalence relation. So here one more thing has been added called a transitivity relationship apart from the reflexivity and symmetry relations. So that means any relation which satisfies these three properties is simply known as a fuzzy equivalence relation. It satisfies the fuzzy equivalence relation. Okay. So therefore, what we define, how we define the fuzzy equivalence relation? Let R is a fuzzy relation defined in the space x into x such that this R is going to be a subset of this entire matrix relation called as x into x, or a ordered pair relation as x into x. It is known as a fuzzy equivalence relation if three of the following properties are satisfied, known as reflexivity, symmetry, and transitivity. So reflexivity is same as earlier just to be discussed, called mu r of xi comma xi should be equal to 1, means what? A diagonal matrix should be equal to 1. And symmetry means what? If you interchange the row and column, the value should remain same. That is what called symmetry property. And last property is going to be called as a transitivity property, where the membership function mu r of xi comma xj is equal to lambda 1 and mu r of xi comma xk is equal to lambda 2, which tends to mu r of xi comma xk is equal to lambda, where this lambda should be greater than or equal to minimum of lambda 1 by lambda 2. And for all xi, xj, and xk should compulsorily belong to the universe of discourse x. So this is somewhat complex. One more point has been added here. One more element has been added here called xk has been added here. Okay. So it takes a lot of time for us to discuss about transitivity. So therefore, we cover this particular part in the next session, and we'll complete unit number 2 in that particular session. So thank you very much for the today's session.